We're joined by Jeff Lipman, and Jeff is talking at the Congress about a very hot topic. Jeff, you've come all the way from Queensland. Every time I open a newspaper or I switch on the television anywhere in the world, they tell me that Armageddon's round the corner. We're going to have no antibiotics worth their name in the future. True or not true?
Not true. There's no question there's a big problem with antibiotic resistance. Absolutely, categorically. The more we use, the more there's going to be a problem. But if there's going to be an Armageddon, I doubt it, for two main reasons. The first reason is we're using the antibiotics a little bit like water in Cape Town, much more sparingly, much more correctly, and more appropriately. Second reason is that once there is money to be made, people are going to develop new things. And there are new pipeline antibiotics in the pipeline. With the better use of antibiotics and the new drugs, I don't believe there'll be Armageddon.
And how well is the message of responsible use of antibiotics getting through to the medical profession?
Poorly. Very poorly.
So what do we do about it?
So there's a whole lot of cost drivers. When my wife takes my kid to the GP and the GP doesn't give her what my wife wants, she goes to the next GP. Right? Now, if there's a viral infection and the kid goes to the GP and the GP doesn't give anything and the kid doesn't get better, my wife blames the GP. Right? Now, viral infections do not get better from antibiotics. But you've got to not only educate the medical fraternity, you've got to educate the public that they don't need antibiotics for a sore throat. They don't need antibiotics for an ear viral infection.
And you're here discussing therapeutic drug monitoring.
Correct.
What's going to be your message? In
hematology wards, in burns wards, in ICU, where the resistance is the highest, the dosing that's released to the general public is inadequate for those groups of patients. Now, when you just give antibiotics, you can't measure the effect like you can with a blood pressure tablet. So you can't titrate the antibiotic to an endpoint of infection, so you just give what you think is the correct dose. Now, to me, that's like treating diabetes without measuring sugar. So by and large, we've been giving antibiotics, and we have, because they're so safe, or the commonest antibiotics are so safe, we haven't been measuring efficacy. The Beta-Lactams, the commonest used drugs, were so safe that you didn't have to measure efficacy. So now we're realizing that if you can measure the Beta-Lactams, you can titrate the dose to a better level. And that's my message with therapeutic drug monitoring. It's a bit like treating diabetes without measuring blood sugar. So until there's outcome data, there will be reticence of people to set up a new assay, which is not cheap, and do daily measurements, which is relatively cheap once you've got the assay up and running.
So would you say to the delegates who are going to hear you speak that the message is one of hope?
Yes.
That's really good news.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed, Jay.
My pleasure.